Hello everybody, this is Tip Top MTG here today with another MTG Arena video. In today's video, I am going to be covering the state of the game for April 2020. So they just dropped this giant post which has things coming this month with Ikoria and a couple other awesome features, the roadmap ahead, and some just really awesome stuff. So I'm going to read through it, give you my thoughts, give you some more information that maybe isn't just explicitly stated in the article, and yeah, give you my thoughts. So why don't we start with the Ikoria layer of behemoths. If you have been keeping up with all the card previews, we recommend you take this moment to go check the full card image gallery. Even if you have been keeping up with it, it's probably worth a second look. Yes, that is Godzilla, and yes, you'll be able to get those alternate card styles in MTG Arena. So for those of you who don't know, they are adding the card styles to MTG Arena. You can get 10 of them for pre-ordering the Ikoria, but you can also get them for entering in ranked, draft, and sealed, I believe. And then you can also get it for buying packs with gems in the store. I actually did a whole video covering that, so you guys should go check that out. But here, I'd like to note that I'd like to note that they have a very small section for Ikoria Layer Behemoth saying it is the new set that's coming out. It is literally their new thing, and they are spending about 2 paragraphs on it. Which I'm proud of, or not proud, but I'm very happy that they're doing that because it shows that they have a lot of good stuff, which you can kind of see right here. Limited time Godzilla Monster Series until May 21st. Players who enter an Ikoria Layer Behemoth limited event will also receive a Godzilla Monster Series card in addition to its normal event rewards. This includes both Ikoria draft and sealed events, and you can receive one each time you enter until the deadline, or until you've added all 18 options to your collection. In addition to the new card set mastery, and some truly mysterious card styles, there's one last thing we want to highlight before we get to our developer roadmap. And so as we can see a draft, like a human drafting thing. You'll be able to draft Ikoria Layer of Behemoths with players. It's an important milestone, and to celebrate its release, every player will get a free draft token to try it out. All you need to do is log in within 2 weeks of Ikoria's release to claim yours. Now, they said in their little video, because the video at the top does have like a few details they don't explicitly say, but I watched it so I can give you those details. They said that you'll be able to do either best of 1 or best of 3 with this token. So if you want to do a best of 3, go do a best of 3. If you don't, then don't. And they actually have some more information about that here. Now, the UI looks pretty good. You get your avatar. We get to see all the different filled seats. Introducing Player Draft. Starting Thursday, 2 new player draft modes will be available in-game. Now, that's saying 2 new, not, yeah. I misread that the first time and was very confused. So there's going to be 2 different versions of it. It will be available in-game as a higher skilled competitive experience with more rewards on the line. So you'll be able to get more rewards than bot drafting, because you have to actually have more skill than bot drafting. Now, there is skill in bot drafting, obviously, but the fact that you have to dynamically pick things based on your opponents, and you have to think, what are they thinking, really adds a lot of skill and competitiveness to it. The mode plays reasonably similar to what you've come to expect with Magic the Gathering Arena, and closely replicates the experience a player might have drafting with other people in tabletop Magic. So let's start with the basics. Player draft will be available in both best of 1 and best of 3. Best of 1 bot drafts will still be available and will continue to rotate every 2 weeks. Best of 3 bot drafts will no longer be available, so if you're playing best of 3, which they traditionally call traditional, they're getting rid of that, and that makes sense. Traditional is meant to mirror a paper experience, and so it makes sense that, hey, you're not actually bot drafting in real life, so if you want to do best of 3, you got to do a player draft. If the current bot draft and player draft feature the same set, they will play in separate queues. Players who drafted against bots will not be paired against players who drafted against humans, which is very important. Yeah, otherwise there would be drafting against players would be pretty bad. You'd be better off drafting against bots. Player drafts will function like leagues. You'll be matched against players outside of your draft pod. So basically what they're saying is you're going to draft with 8 people, but you're not going to play against those 8 people. And I think this makes a lot of sense. Now, I do get the appeal of drafting against people who saw the same packs as you, but it makes more sense that, hey, I can leave and come back if I really need to for my actual games. Next, we have, when joining a player draft, you'll be placed at a digital table until you are paired with 7 other players. Once all 8 players are queued up, you'll confirm your readiness before the draft begins. From there, the draft will commence similarly to how it would against bots, with each player picking a card from their current pack and then passing it to other players. We did add one little failsafe to the UX where a single click reserves a card, but doesn't automatically select it as your pick. Double clicking, dragging the card to your deck, and or hitting confirm pack will lock your pick. So basically you can click on it, and I believe that's what it's saying, pick here. And oh cool, that's going to be what you pick, but if it were to run out of time, you would end up picking this one. But also, you won't immediately do it in case you're like, actually I want this rare. So yeah. We've updated the draft UX to help convey some of the intricacies, such as whether you are passing to your left or right, as well as show you the status of other players' draft picks, but not the picks themselves. So here you can see who's holding all the packs. So you can tell this guy here is hoarding all of the packs, and so you can tell, oh, these players are going to have to wait for them, which is very traditional of drafts. So far, there's nothing here that I'm like, oh. To ensure player draft continues at a reasonable pace, you have a limited amount of time to make your choice that will scale depending on your current pack and pick. For example, you have the most time for your pick one decision. So you'll get about 70 seconds to do your first pick, which makes sense because that's probably going to base your whole draft around that. However, by the time you get down to pack 3, pick 7, this time will be reduced to 30 seconds. And if you don't select a card before it runs out, the game will pick one for you. Or if you reserved one with a single kit, it will reserve that card. Once the drafting portion is complete, you'll be paired with players who have also drafted against others, not necessarily in the same pod, so that makes sense. Draft Ikoria Lair of Behemoths on us. To celebrate the addition of one of our most requested gameplay options, we're doing 2 things very special with our release. Both Best of 1 and Best of 3 Ikoria player drafts will be available on April 16th, so the day this comes out, so in 3 days this will be coming out. Your first draft is on us, no entry fee required. You can choose either Best of 1 or Best of 3. And you'll need to log into the game by April 30th in order to redeem your complimentary draft. You're probably already doing that. If you're watching this video, you're probably already doing it. But if you're not going to log in before the 30th, I recommend you at least attempt to. Yes, so now we have naming updates. So Premier Draft, Best of 1, Player Draft, Current Set, Ranked. So Premier Draft is going to take... Premier Draft is going to be basically, if you're playing MTG Arena, you're probably going to want to do this, unless you like Best of 3. Now, the thing to note is that this does not rotate bi-weekly. So a lot of people were complaining, oh, bot drafts are rotating bi-weekly, rah. And they said they were doing that to keep the bots better, but you don't need to do that if it's player drafts. So player drafts will not rotate bi-weekly. And so that will be changed from ranked draft to quick drafts, which are also ranked. You can rank up in both Premier and quick drafts. And then traditional draft is being renamed to traditional draft. It's Best of 3 player draft instead of bot draft, current set unranked. So those are the 3 different types. There's Premier, Quick, and Traditional, which I think makes a lot of sense. I think Ranked may have made more sense. Ranked Draft, Bot Draft, or Quick Draft probably sounds better. And then Traditional Draft. I think those would have been better names, but whatever. It's fine. Here are the draft schedules. So the 16th, you will be able to Premier Draft, meaning Best of 1 draft, the day Ikoria comes out, which is very different than the normal bot drafting, which you'll notice here, Ikoria Quick Draft comes out May 1st. So I think the fact that this is coming out earlier is going to show that I'm afraid to look at the entry fee. I'm afraid they're going to be like, oh, you can only enter with gems, because that's generally what happens the day of release, is that sealed, you can only enter with gems. And I really hope that's not the case. I hope people are able to play this format, but the fact that it's there makes me happy. And actually, I should have just looked ahead a little bit, because it's right here. Traditional Draft. We'll be trying out new event structure for traditional drafts, something more akin to what you might expect at your local game store. When participating, you'll play a total of 3 matches and receive prizes based on your wins. So you are going to do 3 matches. So in a traditional draft, instead of going as many matches as you can before losing, it's going to be like you're playing at your local game store. You are going to do 3 matches. So if you lose all 3 matches, you lose all 3 matches. You're not just going to stop after 2 matches. And if you win all 3 matches, you win. And it's great because traditional drafts can take a very long time if you're trying to get like 6 wins. Now here, 3 wins and you have doubled your gems and receive 6 packs. So overall, I think this is pretty good. I like this change. It's something I saw a lot of people complaining about, and I'm glad they're changing it. Premier Draft. So Premier Draft is with our human drafting. So it's either 1,500 gems or 10,000 gold. And theoretically, you could just get 50 gems from this. So basically, it is a gems, what would have been a gems only event, but it looks like they're starting to kind of get rid of gems only events. They're gonna kind of, I guess, and so you're gonna be able to pay gold, but I mean, you could get a month of Brawl for that, which also I assume they're gonna continue free Brawl, or maybe they're just gonna make Brawl an open queue. They don't really mention it in here, but and then Quick Draft. Beyond that, Quick Draft will be using the same event reward structure we previously had. So this is a little sketchy, but we'll have to see. I mean, at 1,000 gems, that's not bad. For 3 wins, if you can get 3 wins before 3 losses, you are turning 10,000 gold into 1,000 gems, which isn't horrible. So it's okay. Let's take a look at the developer roadmap coming soon. If you're looking for information as well about Ikoria, oh my god, I'm like stumbling over my words, as well as a player drafting experience, we recommend scrolling up. There are a few changes you can expect with the April 20th game update. So FNM at Home, which has been one of my favorite things they've been doing. It's free entry, you get some free rewards, and if you're connecting with a local game store, you also get additional rewards. And so they are continuing this till May 15th. So they originally just announced 3 of them. Now there's 5. So April 17th will be Ikoria Lair Behemoth's play. April 24th will be Singleton. They don't say Brawl or Standard, or not Brawl. Brawl is already Singleton. Historic or Standard. Artisan, again, they don't say Historic or Standard, but I'm going to assume it's Standard because they don't say otherwise. Pauper and Historic Brawl. Now, I'm not a huge Singleton or Pauper fan, but I'll still play it. Now, they say, ensuring the health of and well-being of our employees, fans, and partners remaining our top priority, we will be continuing to support local communities and stores from the safe distance of online play. In addition to other key initiatives, we'll be continuing FNM at Home events. So, that's really fun. That makes me think that May 15th is going to be the last Friday before an update. So that kind of gives us a frame as to when the May update's coming out. But why don't we take a look at this? So, as before, these events have no in-game entry fee and will reward rare or mythic ICRs for the first and second win. For those of you who connect with WPN stores, you'll also be eligible to receive an additional promotional code that can be redeemed for extra in-game reward. Starting with the April game update, these will be in the form of MTG Arena promo pack, inspired by the, you guessed it, promo packs you receive at your local store. So recently they've been giving out sleeves, and that's not very sustainable. They really can't just give you a sleeve every single week. I don't think that's really fair to be like, oh, yep, now you have 20 sleeves. I think it's nice that they give us 3. But these are very interesting, and they might even be better. You'll be able to redeem up to 1 code every week, and each code redemption will reward you with 2 in-game cosmetic items, including card style. So you're probably going to get like at least 1 card style. You can get avatars, such as Tamio Collector of Tales, card sleeves, so more card sleeves, and pets. Pets are one of the most premier cosmetics within MTG Arena, and you're going to be able to get these for free. And some of them are brand new, so there could be a brand new pet that you can get. There's brand new avatars, maybe brand new styles, maybe brand new card sleeves. So this is very cool, and since it's built into a game update, they won't just be like throwing some random things together. This will actually be a lot of really cool stuff. So I'm actually really excited for this. For our FNM regulars, we encourage you to continue reaching out to your local game stores and connect with their online communities. If you've never been to a Tabletop Friday Night Magic event and this is giving you an incentive to connect with your local Magic players, go for it. Our goal with these events is to bring people together. Very good. That's very exciting. Now, we have some card UI improvements. So this is what it was before. You can see like the tap symbol, and these I actually kind of like them. But then we get this new addition where it is, the tap symbol, they're much smaller, and this is to account for keyword counters. And so we can kind of see here we have a quantity. So here are the different things. They can either gain abilities, and they'll be like blue. Read more, which will basically be card abilities, keyword ability, flying, death touch, whatever, and then quantity dependent effects. So I don't know if there's 2 quantity dependent effects. So if you were to give something that made something that had devotion, and then something that cares about how many creatures you have in your graveyard, which one is going to show? I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting. Then we have in development. So here are some of the really exciting stuff. 64-bit client, which may sound really boring, but I'm going to go over this. For those of you who've been waiting for a status update on macOS. This is the part where you should start paying attention. Starting with the June 2020 game update, Magic the Gathering Arena will be transitioning to a 64-bit client. We'll be continuing 32-bit client for the release of Ikoria and the May game afterwards, but we'll be and the May game update, but afterwards we'll be providing a 64-bit client. For those of you who don't know, 64-bit, 32-bit, the biggest change that people should have to worry about is really if you're on MacOS Catalina and forward only allows applications that are 64-bit. And since they're doing 64-bit, means that when we release on macOS, they will be releasing at the same time as 64-bit. So in June. So not next update, but the update after that. We're working with our partners over at Skybox Labs to help us reach this long-awaited goal, with the plan to release on a macOS client by the end of summer. Okay. I assume... Okay, so maybe it's not June. Maybe I'm getting my hopes up a little too high, but it will be soon. So before you ask us about macOS when, which is probably the most common Twitter reply on any of their posts, be patient as we work on our conversion to a 64-bit client. Once we have more concrete release date, you'll most likely find us on a rooftop, again, screaming it to our heart's content. So yeah, that's probably their most requested feature. Next, we have Cube Draft. Now that we've implemented player drafting, you know what that means. You'll have already gotten a taste of this if you tried our Cube Sealed event earlier this month, but soon you'll be able to draft using the creme de la creme of all the cards available in Magic the Gathering Arena. As with Cube Sealed, Cube Draft will be a phantom event, only this time, instead of opening 6 packs worth of cards, you'll draft them against your fellow players. Cube has no concept of rarity, so packs can contain plenty of existing rares and mythic rares in your pool. The diversity of cards and the strategies and synergies make each run an exciting new experience every time, and we continue to add cards to our MTG Arena. You can expect us to continue updating and iterating the cubes we offer. This is a lot of information today. I'm really excited. Cube Draft seems really cool. Historic roadmap. While we don't have anything specific to announce at this time, we'd like to make it clear that we'll be continuing to support Historic, and we plan for it to becoming increasingly more prominent in Magic the Gathering Arena as we expand our Eternal format offerings. We will continue to strengthen and diversify this play mode, specifically in adding cards that fall outside the realm of Pioneer and Standard to keep the format more interesting. Historic Anthology 3 is currently planned to release sometime in May. So, May, that's next month. Which is kind of crazy. Normally we see the whole festival events, but it makes sense that we're seeing it next month. The gap between Ikoria and Core Set 2021 is the shortest gap between all the sets. So yeah, it's good. Again, people, I just want to bring this out. Historic is going to be like Legacy. It's going to be any card ever printed in MTG Arena, where when they eventually get to Pioneer will not be its own thing. They're not going to remove all of these cards once Historic becomes Pioneer, because Historic is never going to become Pioneer. Pioneer will just be a new format when we finally have the card support for it. Amonkhet Remaster. Work is going well on Amonkhet Remaster, and you should expect that to arrive sometime this summer. We're also continuing our work with Magic R&D on future planned Pioneer-focused set remasters, though they remain in concept for now. Between this, Historic Anthology 3, Core Set 2021, Jumpstart, and Zendikar Rising, there's plenty of new card content to look forward to for the rest of the year. So that's really exciting. So this is all the stuff they're currently developing. The code is being worked on now. And here's the stuff they're working on in concept. So in mobile, just so we're clear, this is a big one, and it's going to take a lot of work to get us there. There won't be many updates on this until late fall, but we can tell you right now is that it's planned for 2020, and we'll have cross-platform support. And it won't matter whether you're playing on the go or desktop, you'll have access to all your cards, decks, and play mode. So I don't see a lot of people playing MTG Arena on their phones unless they're able to come up with some really awesome UI, which they're probably trying to work on that. But I could totally see this being something for tablets, iPads. So I'm really excited for this, being able to not only just play it on the go, but also just play it not sitting at my computer. So that's exciting. Player Challenges. Player Challenges is the working name we're calling our competitive experience that have a short duration but high skill cap, providing ways to win significant rewards beyond gold, gems, and booster packs. So right now, that's the only real way they can reward you. I mean, they can do styles, but if they're saying beyond that, I'm going to assume they're talking about real life stuff here. Given the circumstance surrounding us, this seems like something we decided to fast track a bit to provide even more ways For you to compete from the safety of your home, expect more information on this in the upcoming weeks. So this is something that's still in concept, but they're trying to speed it up because of the current situation. So prizes and formats will be different from our metagame challenges, but we'll still follow an X wins or Y losses format, not brackets or Swiss. While competitive, they differ from Mythic Point qualifiers as they will not require any sort of pre-qualification. They will also be separate from Magic Esports and MPL play, and the goal is to have players' entries support the prize pool. Rewards will depend on region and local law, so it sounds like they're actually going to send you stuff. Like, you're going to pay $10 to enter this event, and you're actually going to get like something shipped to you as a prize. You might win a booster box of... Sorry about that. You may win a booster box of Ikoria Lair Behemoths. So that's pretty cool. Then we have cleanup phase. We know that was a lot to cover, and so hopefully you're still with us. Ikoria is scheduled to go live on April 16th and bring new card set, new drafting experiences, new set mastery, and some major UI improvements. Keep an eye out on our status page for the latest information and maintenance time. If Thursday can't come soon enough, tune into our early access event on April 15th to support some of your favorite content creators and the streamers as they get their hands, paws, and claws on this mantra set for the very first time. So, while that was a lot to go over, I think it's one of the best state of the games we've ever had, and that honestly surprises me because I am working on a video now where I talk about all the previous states of the games from 2019, and I'm going to predict a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm kind of glad I waited to actually start placing those pieces because we got a lot of information about what's coming up in the future. We have somewhat release dates on mobile sometime in fall. We have macOS coming sometime around June, July, 64-bit client coming out soon, Cube Draft, new historic stuff, Amonkhet remasters sometime like in the middle of the year, not towards the end. We have not phantom drafting, we have player drafting, and we have so much more. Of course, FNM is going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to do a video covering the packs and what they're like internals, I guess is how you could say that, look like. Like, are you pretty much only going to get card styles, or are you going to get card styles and card sleeves and avatars and pets? Pets are going to be like the big thing here. So that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe, let me know what you thought of this giant state of the game in the comments down below. Before I actually say goodbye, I have one little thing to pop up here. We got a couple of graphics from the video. For instance, when you're setting your companion, you can actually have it filter by just things that meet the companion's requirements. That's pretty cool. It's going to look very similar to Commander in the fact that there's a little paw here, and it's just, this is your command, your brawl, or this is your companion, and then if it doesn't meet the requirement, it's going to look like this. You'll notice fight is 1, since there's 2 of them. It shows you that it doesn't fit. And then they're also updating the advanced filter screen to look more like this, so you'll be able to collapse menus, and it'll be a lot nicer looking. And then on top of that, Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation are going to be one set. So it's going to be Amonkhet remasters, but it's going to include Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.